Hey YouTube, I'm Mark,
I'm Rocky.
and we are This Cruise Life.
So a couple years ago, we took a pretty unique cruise to a pretty awesome place.
Called Curacao in the Southern Caribbean aboard the beautiful Carnival Conquest.
Yeah, so that was a milestone birthday for you.
I turned 29.
You did, yet again.
Again, yes, it's true.
So in preparation for this unique cruise down to Curacao, we knew we had 13 hours in port that day.
Yep.
Long port day.
Which is great.
We were excited for it. So we tried to figure out, what is there to do in Curacao?
And so what we're gonna do in this video is tell you, so when you visit Curacao, give you some tips and tricks, ideas, suggestions from all of because we maximized every hour while we were there.
We sure did. So we ended up booking a personal driver.
We did.
First
time ever.
Yeah, first time ever. We reached out, had several correspondents going back and forth. She curated an entire day for us. It was a fantastic experience. She met us right there at the pier in Willemstad.
Right at Riff Fort.
Yeah,
so
at the Riff Fort.
When you get off the ship, you'll walk a little bit and Riff Fort is right there.
Yeah.
Jumped in her truck.
Yeah, and we were on our way. It was a really cool drive getting to be in this foreign country. It was beautiful. It was just gorgeous.
So when I go to Curacao, so you've got a couple of ideas here for Curacao. You can do a bunch of excursions. There's a ton of stuff to do. What I had done up to that point, I had been to Curacao twice prior to that.
Okay.
And I had just explored the port area. There is so much you can do. This was the first time I had actually left the entire port area.
And it was my first time to Curacao. So we were both in for a surprise. So our driver took us to the far reaches, the far end of the island to start off. She started us off at a place called Hato or Hato Cave. And the current pricing that I found online looks like it's $10 for adults and $8 for kids ages 4 to 12.
So super reasonable.
It
So truly you get there and there's all of these grounds. They've got the caves.
The main attraction.
The main attraction. They've got all of these warning signs. Don't eat the fruit when you go to Hato Caves. Don't eat the fruit because it's poisonous.
Yeah, it is very poisonous.
All over.
Yeah, that's off of the manzanilla trees. They have the fruit that you can't eat.
Okay.
And then there was also a gardens attached to this site as well.
Walking trails, gardens, just
did you mention
space.
Everything that was all over those walking trails?
Oh, the iguanas.
Yeah, they were huge.
Yeah.
They were I'd never seen anything like this before. So to me, it was a unique experience.
And so you walk up, there's a guide, you've got a tour guide that they bring you up there's 49 steps. There's a sign right at the bottom, 49 steps to the entrance of the cave.
Up to the entrance, not down like you are used to. We found out that these caves, they have actually been only publicly accessible since 1991.
Yes.
However, prior to that, they were used as a slave trade, right? Where slaves would hide out in there for months on end. Mm-hmm. And there's even some information dating back to 1500 years ago, if I remember correctly.
They pointed out some etchings on the walls. I didn't see it. They could have been etchings. They could have been water dripping down. But it is historic. It does serve a historic spot in Curaçao's story, and so really cool experience. We were there for 45 minutes, or in the cave for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and it wasn't cool, by the way, actually.
Oh, great point. Because they're 12 degrees from the equator.
Yep.
It's warm inside the earth, inside the caves.
Yeah, very strange. So when we piled back into the vehicle, the only way that we could leave that place was actually by driving by the Curacao airport.
I was going to ask you if you remember what we drove by.
Yeah, that airport was certainly interesting to see.
Right along the water.
Yeah, so we drove past the airport, and next up on our itinerary that our wonderful driver had plotted out for us was to go to the beach.
Beach each, let's go get away. Yes, we went to the beach. There were 2 different beaches, Playa Piskado.
Yep.
Okay.
So that beach I've never seen water so clear. I was blown away. We walked out onto the pier, which was Banco de Caribe Pier. And on that pier, you could actually look down and see sea turtles swimming right below you. And this pier wasn't that long. But the sea turtles just really felt natural, and this was their place to swim around. I guess they got good food sources there or something.
I have one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken.
So do I.
Was at this pier, and I have it framed. This, I would argue, was one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever been to, or one of the most beautiful piers or areas I've ever been to. The water, we are going to put a whole bunch of pictures in here for you to see, but if you're looking for a beach day or pier snorkeling exploration day, highly recommend Playa Piskado. You are getting inside tips and tricks from exclusively here at thiscruiselife.com.
Yes.
If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. So our private driver, took us to a second beach then.
Playa Kenepa Grandi was the second beach that she took us to.
Okay.
This one required some hiking. We weren't planning for it. We were wearing sandals. I don't know if you remember this.
I didn't. I mean, I remember it because I have pictures of my broken sandal.
Oops.
Yes, that was panicked. Who packs extra sandals when they go on a day trip? But you hiked down a rock staircase, if I remember.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And
the beach down there was gorgeous.
It was.
And we didn't really
overlook.
The view from down at the water wasn't as impressive as you're seeing it in these photos from above. It was such a stunning shade of blue. I can't get over this, and I can't forget it. I actually had this image printed onto a canvas, and it hangs in my office so that I can kind of daydream back to my day at Curacao.
So if you're still here with us, the beaches are unlike any other that we've experienced.
Stunning.
Now, to be fair, we had a packed day, so we didn't lay out on the beach.
We didn't.
So we can't, I guess, technically tell our viewers, did we like the beaches of Curacao?
They seemed like they were nice.
They seemed like they were nice. But if you're looking for some phenomenal Insta-worthy photos, these are a couple of spots you don't want to miss.
Absolutely. So by this point, we are hungry. Our driver gave us two options. Do you remember when she gave us options for food?
I know we went to eat somewhere. I don't remember two options.
Yeah, she talked about taking us to kind of a more of a resort style place, or she could take us to this local dine option where the food was local and it would be a quick in, eat, go, and continue.
Local.
Naturally, we chose the local route. And where did we end up?
We ended up in a place called Williwood. It is Curaçao's infamous Hollywood sign. There is a Williwood sign, which was really exciting. We ate at a place that has a big sign, home of the original goat burger. I don't remember, what's the name of the place?
Williwood Terras?
Williwood Terras?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can still taste that burger.
What I do know is we were a little bit hesitant to try a goat burger. It was my first time ever in my life trying goat. I enjoyed it so much. I have had goat since, which I never thought I would be admitting something like that on YouTube, but here we are. I have had goat since because it was so good.
It was flavorful, it was juicy, it was cooked to perfection, and it was served with goat cheese.
Oh, it was just so good.
It was delicious.
It was really good. And the restaurant, or it was a restaurant slash convenience store, roadside restaurant slash convenience store. Yeah. It overlooked the Williwood sign, which was really cool. So we've got a couple of really cool pictures of that. The convenience store option had really interesting things. I actually got you a souvenir.
Yes, you did.
If you remember, I surprised you with a souvenir. Yeah. They also had dog food and various other sundries that you might need. We had Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola Zero or no sugar. Zero sugar.
That was bottled exclusively for Bonaire and Curacao.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
The restroom so at some point you're going to have to use the restroom during the day. And great news, this place has one.
It does.
It was a very Caribbean restroom.
It was. No sitting on the toilet.
Yes, look at this picture right here. Still makes me giggle. Okay.
Yeah. So after we finished stuffing our faces.
And we had fries. There were fries.
Yeah.
Oh, and remember the burgers?
Sauce.
the burgers had these
Oh,
little
the little
Curacao flags.
Yes.
They had the Curacao flags on a toothpick
Yes.
in the
I do
burger.
remember
That
that.
made me very happy.
Yes.
Okay, where'd we go after that?
All right.
I know.
So after we left with full stomachs, we drove past this natural flamingo habitat. It was really unexpected.
Dozens of flamingos
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah.
the side of the road.
Like we didn't know what we were looking at first. We're like, what are all those pink things? And our driver's like, oh, you know what those are. And so she actually pulled over and gave us an opportunity to get out and take a couple of photos. Really, really cool experience.
Now, the flamingos, I do believe I have seen on the top 10 of Curacao tours or excursions.
Yeah,
I do
okay.
believe I've seen that photo op with flamingos. So there's a space where you can pull over and take pictures. Really, that in itself was really cool.
Yeah, that was really neat and unexpected.
And
We didn't have to
unexpected.
pay extra for
Yes,
it.
yes.
So heading back down towards the south side of Curacao, because we were spending most of our time in north, we drove over.
The infamous Queen Juliana Bridge. It's the giant bridge you see from your cruise ship, and you see that anywhere you go in Curacao, you see this bridge, and I had always wanted to get on this bridge.
Success.
Yes.
We finally crossed that off of the list. It was cool. It was very tall. It was really neat when we started to climb up onto the bridge and we looked over and we saw the Carnival Conquest sitting there in port. We're like, hey, I know where we are.
We recognize that ship.
We sure did.
Hey YouTube, Curacao just has so much to offer that we've decided to split this story into 2 parts. Stay tuned for part 2, where we talk about the Curacao Chobo Lobo factory tour, as well as a unique restaurant and rum tasting. We can't wait to tell you more about our day in Curacao. If you haven't already, remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you get an update when we post our next video. See you next time.